you're not playing any bass notes, which is okay in a band setting because the bass player is going to play the bass notes, so it's fine. But yeah, so in that case, you have it. I was just like confused because I wasn't seeing any bass notes, and I was like, wait, what's happening? But now I understand that I'm supposed to look at this left or right. I don't really read like chord charts like this, so I just read it on a staff, right? Like jazz guys, like we just write. We don't write fingerings, right? We just write B flat 7, E flat 7. We just write the chord symbol. I mean, the joke is that us jazz guys don't know how to read, right? And hey, man, traditionally, if you look at the roots of jazz, it's true that most of the people who played jazz didn't know how to read because they didn't go to school. So it is what it is, man. In the words of Miles Davis, you dig. But like, yeah, this is fine then. You're just not playing the bass note, which is cool. I mean, if there's a bass player, that's totally cool, actually. In fact, you don't necessarily want to play the bass note, especially if there's a bass player. Most of the time, you want to avoid it because, well, you don't want to get in their way because they're going to be walking, right? They're going to be walking, or they're going to be doing whatever they do, and be playing into like whatever. Yeah, we could play a quick blues. Can I play a blues? Do you even hear it? Maybe you will. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. So okay, so you're kind of what you're doing is like, let's say you're E flat 7, you're doing it like this. Oh, sorry, you're doing it like that. So the bass note would be here. Turn it up for you to hear it. Okay, you should hear it now. So like you're playing this. It works when you have the bass note, right? It makes more sense, obviously. But like, normally the bass player is just going to be doing. So like that's what's going to be happening with the bass line, right? So in terms of fingerings, the easiest ones are just like you played what's called drop 3 chords. So you would be doing B flat, like right there. So hold on, can you see? Yeah. So B flat on the 6th fret. Then you skip one string and you play the 6th fret again with your 2nd finger. That's the 7th, so the A flat note. And then you just play the major 3rd. Because really all that matters in chords is the 2 guide tones, the characteristic notes. Oh, hold up, can I? Yeah, that works. Okay, it's like the tournament. Whatever. We'll just use that screen for now. Okay, so... Right, so you have B flat, you have A flat, and then you have the major 3rd, which is a D. And that's all you need to imply a chord. So you don't even need the root. You just need the 3rd and the 7th, really. Like, I could play you a blues, like, just 3rd and 7th. These are called guide tones, by the way. So whenever someone says guide tone, what they mean is the 3rd and the 7th of each chord, respectively. So if I played just guide tones, you would still hear the blues. So you would hear like this. I'm only playing 2 notes. But you can still hear it. You know what it implies. Right? So from just the 2 notes, you can hear the entire rest of the song. So that's why it's called guide tones, because they're the most important notes that imply everything else that your ear just fills, you know, because your brain will just fill in the blank. So anyways, if you really want a simple way to play it without getting in the way of anyone, the way you would comp, like, so a jazz musician would say you would comp for the soloist. The way you would do that is you would play the root and the guide tones. So you would do this. Okay? So you would do the root, the B flat, for example, Then you'd skip a string, you'd play the 6th fret with your 2nd finger, which is the 7th. You play root, 7th, and major 3rd. Now what's cool about guide tones, and this is actually a rule in classical music, this comes from Johann Sebastian Bach actually, and it applies in all music. Just remember this. The 7th of a chord will resolve down by semitone to the major 3rd of the next chord. Again, the 7th of any given chord will resolve down to the major 3rd of the next chord. That's just like a rule of voice leading. That's just chords just naturally do that. So for example, even in this blues, you see that the 7th is the A flat, right? What happens when you change chords? It actually just moves 1 fret. So the 7th turns into the 3rd of the next chord. And then the 3rd turns into the 7th of the next chord. So they keep zigzagging. So that's just basically what you want to play, is this. So that's the E flat 7. It's 2nd finger on the 6th fret, index on the G, which is the major 3rd now. 5th fret, and then your ring finger on the 6th fret again, which is the 7th now. And then you can keep cycling. So basically it gives you this. So this is called the Charleston rhythm. That's the Charleston, right? And then E diminished 7, 1 semitone up, and you would play it like this. Right, so you have the tritone there. The diminished 5th is right there. So E with your 2nd finger, ring finger on B flat, your index on the 6th, and then your pinky on the 8th fret of the B string. Okay? It's optional, but it's nice. Right, so D minor 7, flat 5, kind of like a zigzag. So index on the 5th fret, ring finger on the 6th, 2nd finger on the 5th fret of the next string, and then your pinky on the 6th fret of the B string, okay? D minor 7, flat 5, to G7 sharp 5. So index on the G, 2nd finger on, it's similar to your B flat 7, by the way, same shape. But the sharp 5 is with your pinky on the 4th fret of the B string. Right? It's the same shape, except you have a sharp 5. So again, B flat 7, E flat 7, B flat 7, 2 bars, E flat 7, E diminished 7, B flat 7, E minor, G7 sharp 5, C minor 9. It's a very nice chord. You could play C minor 7, but C minor 9 is just, it just sounds cooler. Right, so it gives you this sunny kind of vibe, even though it's dark. Like, I don't know, it always sounds like it's the bossa nova chord, so it just always sounds like water to me. Like it just always sounds like the beach, literally. So that's C minor 9. F7 is the same shape as your B flat 7. So same shape again, but over there. Okay, you could play it here too. Like your E flat 7 if you want, but here on the 8th fret. Yeah, C minor 9 is I mean, any minor 9 is going to be a nice way to play a 2-5-1. Okay, so recapping from the top. Here we go. You see how it keeps your fingers close, right? You barely move. Top. So yeah, that's basically the shapes. Come on, man, hold on. Here, I'm gonna just take the noise suppression off so it doesn't cut. harder version. Okay, so this is the version you did. So B flat 7, E flat 7, B flat 7. So it's exactly what you wrote, and then I'll tell you what happens after. Okay, so now B flat 7. Right, so that was, instead of D minor 7 flat 5 to G7, that's a semitone pattern. Okay, so what happens there is B flat 7, and you could do a couple of different things here. So you could do B flat 7 to A7 to A flat 13, which is just a 7 with your pinky on top here. Okay, and then to G7 sharp 5. So B flat 7, A7, A flat 13, G7 sharp 5 to C minor 9. Okay, or you could do B flat 7, A minor 7 flat 5. So you could do, sorry. That's much darker, so that gives you like the, what's the vibe there? It's like the hit the road Jack kind of vibe, right? It's like a minor, what would you call it? It's a minor turnaround, you would call this, I guess, a minor blues turnaround. So you could do that too. So yeah, basically you have a few options there, and then you can always substitute every 7th chord by a 7th chord a tritone higher. So the substitute for B flat 7 can always be E7. The substitute for E flat 7 can always be A7, and so on and so forth. It'll sound the same. So I could play you an entire blues, like think of this as the demented blues, okay? So you could substitute every chord with the same with its tritone substitution. So you go a tritone higher than the root chord, and you play the same guide tones. So you play this a 7th chord, just a tritone higher. So B flat turns into E7, E flat 7 turns to A7, and just so on and so forth. You just keep doing that. So this is what it would sound like. It sounds very weird. Sounds upside down, right? But if I play the bass notes, you're gonna hear it. That's the tritone. And you could play the same scales, by the way. So this is what it would sound like if you just play a B flat blues over it. So like, it's just the same thing. So there you go. Anyways, you get the point. So it's a very John Coltrane thing to do, basically. So yeah, there you go. That's the blues.